Hello everyone, welcome to Swiflearn Live classes. Finally getting you back after such a long break. It's been great meeting you again. Okay, so I hope you are joining today and you've already watched my tube videos before on the same topic, Understanding Quadrilaterals, and now we can proceed and finish the topic. Okay, happy to see you all again. And before starting, let me introduce what is Swiflearn. See, Swiflearn is an online platform where there are 100% live and interactive classes. What does 100% live and interactive classes means? It is like the student is there already on the other side, right? And we are teaching here live. It is not a pre-recorded session. It's not like you're just watching a video. Okay, it's like we are interacting and we are solving the questions. Like here, it's very difficult. You will be seeing, some of you will be seeing the video of this later. So maybe you have some doubts which you cannot ask me here, right? So that's why we are giving 100% live classes, that where the student can interact with us and we can solve his doubts. Second thing is that the performance is also measured. So whatever the child is doing in the class, like a classwork and homework, everything is tracked by a mentor team that keeps track of the student progress. Is he's going good, or is it the topic which is not very clear to him? So we need to concentrate more on that. So each and everything and each and every classwork and homework is tracked. The third thing is that the class batch is maximum of 6 students. Maximum of 6 students means that we won't be having more than that. We will be only having 6 students in a class where we can give a personalized attention to each and everyone present with us. So even is this a good idea? Yeah, because in a class, when a teacher is teaching in a school, there are 30 or 40 students. So it's very difficult for the teacher to concentrate and look at each and every doubt in that particular 1 hour. But right now, when we are there to teach you, we are teaching in a group where there are maximum 6 students. So each and every one is given personalized attention. And the best part is that we cover the course according to the student's exam schedule. So if your student has an exam on Monday, you can tell us prior to that. We'll make sure that the topic is covered and the practice for that topic is given. And the thing is, even if that topic is not there in the curriculum, but still we are teaching that topic according to your personal requirements. So each and every course can be modified and altered according to your requirements and your child's requirements. Okay. So that's why we call India's most sincere platform. Swiflearn is known for India's most sincere learning destination for classes 3 to 10. Yes, we teach from grade 3rd to grade 10. All the subjects, whichever they are, you can enroll and try it. We are there to teach you. And the key features are, as I already mentioned, that there are detailed progress reports. So there's a graph there on your profile. When you log in, there's a login ID we'll be giving to you, and you're logging in from there. In that account, you can see your progress, where you are and how are you improving. And if there is a drop, we take it very seriously, that why that has happened, that why that point is not clear. So it's not like that we are not concentrating after you have logged in. So we are tracking each and every record. Second thing is we have SATs. SATs means Swiflearn Academic Test Series. This test series is conducted on an international platform on YouTube, Instagram, and the page. So on that page, you can participate and you can know where you are standing in front of the whole global world, because end of the day, it is a competitive world and you have to be in par with that. So we provide this SATs in which we get to know where the student is, and all over the world, so many students are applying, so that you know where do you stand. How much more practice do you need on that particular topic? Okay, and we also give unlimited practice test series. So there is no limited numbers that, okay, after this class, you'll only have one homework or one test, and that's it. We are done with that. No, we keep on giving unlimited test series. So there is no limit for that. Okay. And the best part for being a math teacher, and I like this, is a subjective test for school examinations. See, a school exam is just not a multi-choice examination where you have to just click on the options, right? It is a long process. It is in each and every step you have to write the things. That is why what we say subjective test is required, that we know where the problem is. Maybe you have done some calculation mistake, but you know the concept. So we have to just look at that minor of the details as well to know exactly where you stand. That's why subjective test helps us and it helps the students to do, how the way is, how the steps are required in the school exams. So according to all of this, if you think that we are going good, so kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, press on the bell icon so that you never miss any update. As we all are there live teaching you, so you do not need any new update that which new lecture or which new topic are we going to teach. All right. Great then. I hope you have clicked on the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. Moving on to the topic, understanding of quadrilateral. This is part 3. I have already done 2 videos, part 1 and part 2. If you have not seen that, kindly after the session, go and see that so that the whole chapter is covered. And today's topic, we'll do some special parallelograms. What are the special parallelograms which we'll study that. Okay, so here we go. So objective of the class would be what is rhombus, what is a rectangle, what is a square, and problem based on these quadrilaterals. So we'll solve all of these. We understand what these 3 figures are and what are their properties. Okay, so before that, let's check your knowledge on before what we have done in the previous class. Let's do that today. Can you tell me the angle measurement of the given figure? Okay, so this is the figure given to you. It's saying that angle ABC is 100 degree. And you have to tell me what is the value of angle X, angle Y, and angle Z. So yeah, everyone, good morning. Prachi, yeah, please tell me the answer if you have gone to the videos before. What will be the value of X, Y, and Z? Yes, see, the angle Y is just opposite angle B, right? Angle ABC is equal to angle ADC. Am I right for that? I'm so sorry. Let's click on that. Yeah, here we go. See, angle ABC is equals to angle ADC. Why do we say that? Why do we say that these two angles are equal? Because they are opposite to each other, right? So angle ABC is equals to angle ADC because they are opposite of each other, okay? Now, moving on to the angle X and angle C, they would be also equal because they are also opposite, right? So we say angle ADB is equals to angle ABC because they are opposite angles. So that's why we say angle ADB, which is equals to Y, which is equals to 100 degree. Am I right with this? Yeah. Okay. Moving on to know the value of X and value of Z. See, we know angle ABC and angle BCD. They are, what are they? They are supplementary angles, right? So the sum of these two angles will be 180 degree. So when we add, this is 100 degree plus angle X degree will be equal to 180 degree. We know this. So the value of X will come out to be 100 degree. Perfect with this? Okay. Similarly, we also know that angle X is equals to angle Z. That means angle Z will be also equals to 100 degrees. So we got X as 100. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's why 180 degree minus 100 degree, that comes out to be 80 degree. I'm so sorry. So X comes out to be 80 degree. Z also comes out to be 80 degree. And Y is already, we have calculated, that comes out to be 100 degree. So the value of X is 80 degree, Y is 100 degree, and Z is 80 degree. Let's see, have we got the right answer? Yes, well done. We have already solved that. Great. Moving on to the next one. Can you tell me this angle? These are just similar to the one which we have done it before. Can you tell me quickly? So I won't be explaining that. I will be directly giving the answer. Okay, I'm giving just few seconds to solve that. Okay, let me name this first. Let it be A, B, C, D, and put it E here. So that will be easy. Yeah. So what will be the angle value of, first of all, tell me the value of Y. What would be the value of Y? The value of Y would be 80 degree. That's right, because it's opposite. Now coming on to the value of X. X is a supplementary angle. That means 180 degree minus 80 degree. That comes out to be 100 degree. Okay, so we got the value of X is equals to 100 degree. We got the value of Y, which is equals to 80 degree, right? Now we need the value of Z, and that is an exterior angle. That is not an interior angle. So what do we know? That Y will be equal to Z. How? See, this is a line, a parallelogram where two lines are parallel, and we can say that this line, this one, is a transversal. And we know that in a transversal and two lines are parallel, the Y angle is equals to the Z angle. That's why we'll say the Z angle is also equals to 80 degree. Perfect. Who all have done that? Great work, students. If you have done it on your own, well done. So 100, 80, 80. That's right. Okay, let's start with the today's topic. What do we mean by rhombus? What is a rhombus? We obtain rhombus as a special case of kite, which is not a parallelogram. See, what is happening is that we know a rhombus is there and it is a special case like a kite. What is a kite? We have already studied that the two adjacent sides are equal. So the top two and the bottom two, these like a kite, they both sides are equal, right? We have done that. So now what is happening is always remember that all the sides of the rhombus are of same length. It is not like the case of a kite. See, that's what I was telling you, that in kite, this side and this sides are equal and this side and this side are equal. But whereas in rhombus, all the four sides are of same length. All the sides of the rhombus are of same length. Okay. What else is there in the rhombus? We have also studied that since the opposite side of the rhombus have the same length, it is also a parallelogram. So what is happening is in kite, we don't say it is a parallelogram, right? That's what we have understood. But whereas in rhombus, we'll say the length of all the sides of the opposite sides are equal. That's why we call it, it is a parallelogram. So a parallel has all the properties of a parallelogram, also that of a kite. So that is why we call a rhombus as a special one, because it has all the properties what a parallelogram has. It also has all the properties what a kite has. Okay. So property is the diagonal of the rhombus are perpendicular bisector of one another. So what is happening is that the diagonal, what do you know what is a rhombus and what is a diagonal, right? Now, so far you have understood. So in the previous question, let me tell you what I want to say with this property. There's a picture already made there. So this says this is a rhombus. And what does the property say? That this is a perpendicular bisector. So there's always a 90-degree angle on the point where they intersect. And it is a bisector, means this point area and this are equal. Okay, so these are the two properties of a rhombus. First, okay, let's do all of them together. Rhombus has all the sides equal. It has the properties of parallelogram as well as a kite. It has a diagonal which is perpendicular bisector, and it is perpendicular bisector means it bisects at 90 degree, right? Perpendicular and bisector means equal sides. So from that words we get two properties. Okay. So good to go with the questions now. Moving on to the rectangle. What is a rectangle? See, a rectangle is also a form of a parallelogram. Why do we say it? Because they measure the opposite sides are of same length. That is what we need. And all the angles of the rectangles are of same angle, same measurement, right? So if I say, can you find the measurement of x? Can you do that? Yeah, it is pretty easy, right? The sum of all the angles of a parallelogram is equals to 360 degree, right? So if there are 4 x's, we'll add 4x is equals to 360 degree. That means the value of x is equals to 90 degree. This is the way when we say that it is a 90 degree, it is derived from this way. This is the procedure by which we get to know that all the angles of a rectangle are measured as 90 degree. Now, moving on to observing on a rectangle. See, each angle of a rectangle is a 90 degree. Being a parallelogram, the rectangles have opposite sides of equal length and its diagonal bisect each other. Okay, they bisect each other. So in a parallelogram, diagonals can be of different lengths, but the rectangle is a special case. Rectangles has diagonals of equal length. So what is happening is that in a diagonal parallelogram, the diagonals can be of different lengths, okay? But the rectangle in the different case, it is different case where the rectangles have a diagonal of equal lengths. It should be a square has a diagonals of equal length. I'm so sorry for this. Okay, so problems on rectangle. RENT is a rectangle. Its diagonal meets at O. Find the value of x if OR is equals to 2x plus 4 and OT is equals to TX plus 4. Now, what do we know in this? We know that a rectangle is a parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal, angles are 90 degree, we have understood. And we have also known that the diagonals of both the sides are equal to each other, even if they bisect, but this side is equals to the side of this one. This is the special case of a rectangle. That's what we have studied. So in that case, we know that OT is half of TE, right? And we also know that OR is half of the diagonal RN. So their halves are also equal. See, if we know that diagonals are equal, that means their halves are also equal. So we can always directly put the values. 3x plus 1 will be equal to 2x plus 4. See, this is a whole diagonal. If this diagonal is equal to this diagonal, that means its half of both of the halves would be also equal. That's where we have put that 3x plus 1 is equals to 2x plus 4. And on solving, putting the x value of left-hand side, all the variants on the right-hand side, we are able to get the value of x. That is 3. Understood? Yeah, okay. Moving on to a square question. A square is a rectangle with equal sides. So what is happening is it is a rectangle in which all the sides are equal. So it has all the properties of rectangles with an additional requirement of the all sides are equal. Similarly, their diagonals would intersect each other and their diagonals will be of equal lengths, okay? So half of their diagonals. So the square has diagonals of equal length. Understood? So because of a rectangle, we say that here also the diagonals are of equal length. So in a square, a diagonal bisects one another. So they're bisecting each other. They are of equal lengths. The diagonals are of equal length and they are perpendicular to each other. Okay. So the property is the diagonals of a square are perpendicular bisector of each other. That is the way we get to know that they are bisecting each other, they are dividing it equally, and they are perpendicular. Clear with this? Okay, now coming on to this topic, see, now this is your whole map of the chapter where each and every figure has been distributed differently and its properties are given. So it is a very good where before examination you can go through this and you are able to solve each and every questions also in a way you are stuck. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this screen, okay? and keep it handy whenever you're solving the questions. So this is all which we have done with the properties, and today I'll revise with you all of them. So quadrilateral and its properties. The quadrilateral consists of a parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, square, and a kite. Okay, these are the areas which we have studied in a quadrilateral. So what is a parallelogram? A quadrilateral which each pair of opposite sides are parallel. So the opposite sides are parallel to each other. That means the lines will never meet. Similarly, that is why we call it a parallelogram. So which opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, and the diagonals bisect each other. So they divide each other in an equal parts, okay? Whereas in the case of rhombus, it is a parallelogram with each sides are equal length. So all the sides are equal. So if they are equal, it has all the properties of a parallelogram. Why? Why do we say that it has all the properties of a parallelogram? Yes? Yes, because the opposite sides are equal, they are parallel. So that's why we call it that it has the properties of a parallelogram, and the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So in the case of rhombus, they are just perpendicular to each other. In the case of rectangle, the parallelogram is of right angled, right? They all are of 90 degrees. Same goes with square. Yeah, coming to there later. Let's concentrate on rectangle first of all. A parallelogram with a right angled. All the properties of parallelogram are also there. Each angle is a right angled figure, which each angles, all the four angles are right angle. That means all the four angles are equals to 90 degree. And the diagonals are equal. So in this, when you form a diagonal, NL and KM, they both are equal. Moving on to the square, a rectangle with sides of equal length. So it is a parallelogram, and a rectangle is a parallelogram, right? Square is a form of a rectangle with all the sides equal. That directly link that a square is also a parallelogram, right? So we'd say that it has all the properties of a parallelogram, a rhombus, because in rhombus also all the sides are equal. So it has the properties of parallelogram, it has the properties of rhombus, and it also has the properties of a rectangle. So with this, when we have already learned these properties, we know that square is a special case which comes and follows all the properties of the above one. Okay. Coming on to kite, a quadrilateral with exactly two pairs of equal consecutive sides. So what is happening in a kite is that side AD is equals to AB and BC is equals to CD. So the two sides which are adjacent to each other, they are equal. So, but the opposite sides are not equal. This is a case of a quadrilateral, and we say that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So if I draw a diagonal AC and BD, they would be perpendicular to each other. And one of the diagonal would bisect the other. So what is happening is, if I say one of the diagonal would bisect the other, that means one of the diagonal would be equal. In the figure, angle B is equals to angle D, but angle A is not equals to angle C. This is the way we are able to make it a kite. Otherwise, if the angles of the opposite angle are equal, it will become a parallelogram, right? So that is the main difference which makes it apart and say that it does not has those properties of a parallelogram that opposite angles are equal. Only just one angle, pair of angle is equal, whereas the other one is not equal. Okay, so here we go. Today's session is on over. It was a short session. It was with all the properties which is required, and we have covered all the courses and all the questions. So today we'll move on to directly to the questions to what all we have done so far. Okay, state true or false. All the rectangles are square. Now it's your turn. What all have you understood with those maps, with all those properties? Is it true or false? All the rectangles of a square are all rectangles are squares. So is it true? True or false? All rectangles are squares. Read the question very carefully. It says rectangles and here's squares. So all the rectangles are square. Is it true? No, false. Well done. All the squares can be rectangle because they are. We say a square is a rectangle, right? Whereas a rectangle cannot be a square because in rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Not all the sides are equal. Okay, moving on to the next question. It says, all rhombuses are parallelograms. So is all rhombuses a parallelogram? We have studied so far. Are all rhombuses a parallelogram? True. Yes, all the rhombuses are parallelogram. Well done, Angad. So it's true. Moving on to the next one, it says all squares are rhombuses and also rectangles. All the squares are rhombuses and also rectangle. True or false? Okay, let me see who's giving answer. Okay, Mohit says true. Yeah, that's right. All the squares are rhombuses. That means the opposite. All the sides of the rhombus are equal. Same goes with square. And also a rectangle. We know a square is also a rectangle because the opposite sides are equal. Perfect. Well done. Moving on to the fourth one, it says all squares are not parallelograms. All the squares whichever we are studying are not parallelogram. Is it true or false? Okay, let's see. Yeah, quickly. All the squares are not parallelogram. All squares are not parallelograms. True or false? All squares are not parallelograms. Yes. So the answer is false. All the squares are not parallelograms. Okay, moving on to the fifth question, it says, all kites are rhombuses. All kites are rhombuses. True or false? All the kites are rhombuses. The kites has two sides equal, whereas the rhombus has all the sides equal. So will you say that all kites are rhombuses? False, right? Great. Moving on to the next question, it says all rhombuses are kites. So all the rhombuses are kites. Moving that same question in other words, it says that rhombuses have all the sides equal, whereas kites, two sides are adjacent sides are equal. Same goes with rhombus. Yeah, the rhombus to adjacent sides are equal. So can we say that it's true or false? It is true. Well done. Moving on to the next one, it says all parallelograms are trapeziums. All the parallelograms are trapeziums. Is it true or false? Yes, it's true. All parallelograms are trapezium. That's why it has a property, trapezium has the properties of a parallelogram. Great. Moving on to the eighth one, it says all squares are trapezium. True or false? All the squares are trapezium. Think about it. Give it a shot. Are all the squares are trapeziums? Well, yes, that's right. All the squares are trapezium. Well done. So today what all we have learned rhombuses, what is a rectangle, what is a square, and we have also done the problems based on a quadrilaterals. So I hope you have understood all the properties of a rhombus, square, rectangle, and you have understood what a quadrilateral is. And if one angle is given, how can we find out all the angles inside a parallelogram? So with this, we have finishing today's session. That's it for today. Hope to see you next time. And kindly, before going, click subscribe to the channel, press on the bell icon so that you never miss any update, and I'm there to teach you. And please comment on the session on the topic, which topic do you want the next that we should teach you. So I'm there to teach you. Just put on the comments, and later on when you see this video and you think that you can do it, another topic on this, you want some other notes on some other topic, live session, we'll do that. Okay. Well done, everyone who did it on their own. And I'm very happy today to meet you all again and hope to see you next time. Take care for till then.